Hey there, friends. So I hit the go live button a bit too quickly this morning, and I still need to set up a couple of things. You can see my mat's not ready. I didn't have my heart rate monitor on. Uh-oh. But here we are. Let's close this gate. And I have some new toys that I need to work with and set up. Oh boy. Like this amazing timer that we have here. Hello. Good morning, friends. I'm just slightly adjust the camera so we have the full view of this. Let's straighten up the mat. And look, we have a little timer for the follow now. So this is what it looks like while I'm setting up for my morning workout. Slightly move this one up just a little bit. Might be a bit too close to the door. Some junk on the floor there from outside. And now we're good to go. So why do we have the timer here? Set it up. Hi, I'm a dog too. Hey, I'm a dog too. Hi, where am I? I am in the Netherlands and it is 5:12 a.m. and I've just been ill for the last 3 days. So I'm very happy to be able to get back to actually starting to train, which is something that I'm very much looking forward to. Where are you dialing in from? And by the way, this is my kitchen and this is my kettlebell equipment. So I'm just going to set up this timer. I'm going to run an EMOM this morning. Nevada, wow. That's the United States, isn't that right next to Texas? Is that correct? Yeah. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Let me just set up my timer here and then I'm all up for a conversation. It's not next to Texas. Okay, my bad. So I'm going to do a countdown timer. Then I have to set it up. Every minute on the minute. And we're good. There you have it. There's a little beep. You can see my timer on the floor. Can you see my timer on the floor? Oh, I put it here maybe. There we go. So, next to California, Lake Tahoe area. Ah, amazing. Hey, thanks a lot. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yoga workouts. That's really awesome. Keeps you flexible and strong and mobile. I will drop by your channel later and take a look. Thanks for dropping by this morning and saying hi. And happy that we caught each other. It's 5:13 a.m. here. I'm guessing it's slightly later in the day, or actually yesterday, so later in the evening for you where you're at, and I hope you have a good evening and a good night and a good sleep. And well, thanks a lot for dropping by. I appreciate you coming by to say hello. All right, well, friends, it's 5:13 a.m. And I'm all set up. Like I said, I was sick for the last 3 days. Monday morning, went to work after the holidays, felt fine. Around noon, I started to feel terrible. probably caught a bug over the weekend on the trip back, and Monday evening I was knocked out. Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday I started to feel a lot better. I won't say I'm 100% yet, but I feel good enough to do something this morning, because I also don't feel like doing absolutely nothing. Just doesn't feel right. But I'm going to take it easy, nothing too heavy, nothing too crazy. But I do have some new toys, because my 24 kilo kettlebell, brand new, just arrived, which I'm quite happy with. So I'm going to put that to good use, and probably some other things. But I'm just going to be cycling through sets of basic exercises, nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just some drills for about 30 minutes. And let's see how that goes and how I feel after that. I slept well last night, 8 hours. I feel rested, but I do feel that I've been ill, and you know how it goes with being ill nowadays. It always goes away, comes back a little bit, and then goes away for a longer while. I train for living an active, self-sufficient, adventurous life, and I think we're doing pretty well in that department. I feel fit, I feel strong, I feel mobile, like I can move. I feel a lot of things are working well physically. I feel my immune system has done its job well and quick. And overall, I actually feel pretty good about my general health and conditioning. We'll find out again in January when I go back for another VO2 max test and compare last year's results with this year's results. But if we keep going the way we're going, I think that's going to be completely fine. Like I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. And I just wanted to say, I'm a dog too. Thanks for dropping by this morning immediately and being on the chat. I really appreciate that. And if you're watching and interested in what I'm doing, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we can have this conversation about health, fitness, life, career, fatherhood, being a man, raising men in this world together, because those are the things that I want to and will be talking about. That being said, I guess the only thing left is for us to get started with the training, because the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So let's get started, friends. My countdown timer even gives me just starting off with some easy mobility. Nothing too fancy, too special. Yeah, Poor Man's Gym. Good morning, Poor Man's Gym. Thanks for dropping by again, and I hope you're doing all right. And I appreciate seeing you here this morning, and I'm glad to hear you're doing or it's actually not glad. See, I've been ill. My brain's not working 100%. Hope you're doing okay, and that life is treating you well. And I can see my new toy isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, because we need to really different. I'm going to try this one. I hope this is a countdown timer that actually keeps running over and over again. Great. Oh. I'm glad to hear you're doing great. And it's like 5:20 a.m. here in the morning, and as you can see, I'm having a bit of a hard time getting started this morning. But I forgive myself because, well, it's 5:20 a.m. first of all, and second of all, I've been ill. But we're going to continue trying to get started. Running the every minute on minute timer, some mobility, and then just some easy training. How are you doing in your part of the world? Is it morning or evening where you're at? Here it's early morning. And I'm very grateful that I don't feel super ill or super sick anymore. There's nothing worse than catching a cold in summer, I guess, because it's hot outside and inside, and you have a fever. It's just double uncomfortable. like my timer ran out of batteries. That's another clue about new stuff. Always charging. That's it. 92 degrees. 92 degrees today. Does 92 degrees mean, what would that be in Celsius? Because I can't really calculate. I can't really calculate in Fahrenheit, I think. Hey Johnny, good morning. How's it going? But 92 sounds pretty hot, I guess. Also, if I'm reading your message correct. No worries. No need to say sorry. Like I could also know what Fahrenheit is, since I spent time in Texas. But it's probably quite hot. So I hope you're hydrating and staying well, and that it's not too hot for you. Going in and out of air-conditioned spaces, I guess, is also one way of doing that, finding shade. And do you work out then in the heat? Like, is it doable, or is that just too much? Might actually be curious. Johnny, good morning. How's life in Canada? Hope you're doing all right. I'm actually just about to get started on the strength part of the workout. There is the beeper. Let's see. Need to this one. Hope you're doing all right. Timer 1 to 50. Timer 2 to 10. And then we're good to go. And we're just going to start some EMOMs this morning. I did some burpees in the heat. Was a little much. Yeah, it's always hard, especially in extreme heat. You need to watch out, right? And I think the most important thing is always to remember, well, at least for me, to remember that I'm doing this to be healthy and fit, and not to push myself to extremes or to put myself in the hospital. So I always try to be mindful. So when it gets really hot out here, like, is it going to be a run, or is it a swim, or is it a day to relax? Or like this morning, because I'm doing this because the day after recovering from being sick, or I'm still recovering from being ill, is, how hard do I actually want to push myself? So yeah, those are quite important questions to ask ourselves. Man, this is just not my morning. But here now, I hope the battery of the system is charging, and we can now actually finally start these EMOMs. I guess tip to myself is not to use new stuff live and then see how it works after using it only for 30 seconds after taking it out of the box. Anyway, 5:29. Let's start swinging some kettlebells. All right. Let's go. I'm going to start off easy. 10 deadlifts. Again, nothing fancy or special today. Alright, I'm just going to switch to my watch because I gotta get this timer to work. Oh boy. I thought it would be nice to have a timer running for everyone else to see the time on the stream as well. So well, right now that I've finished my course as a personal trainer and health coach, I thought I got so interested in it. I also am looking for a course on nutrition, and the one that I'm looking into is Lane Norton. Maybe you've seen him around on the internet. If you're interested in the same YouTube content that I'm interested in, and he talks a lot about the science behind weight, health, bodybuilding, and he offers a nutrition coaching course. So I was looking into that. I think that might be the next and final step in that journey this year, on top of the 2 kettlebell workshops that I have in the coming month. Because then I will have learned everything that I want to learn about kettlebelling and about health and nutrition this year to give myself a solid base. And now, of course, what I did is I forgot to turn on the interval timer. You know, people, it's not my morning. I think based on this experience, I'm probably going to send the timer back because it doesn't seem to be that as useful as I would have wanted it to be. Oh, there we go. Fourth set. But I guess the most important thing is simply to always show up and do the work. Thanks a lot, I appreciate that, and I hopefully will. And I'll see you on one of the next streams, where we'll be doing a bit more intense work, I hope. Move on to the back. Do some rows. I also don't really have a lot to say this morning. So it's going to be a bit of a quiet, peaceful stream, I guess. My brain just isn't 100% up and running yet. I guess the one thing that I can say is that looking back at the holiday, it feels like a long time ago. But that's all right. I mean, that's why we get back to the real world. And getting back to the real world is fun and nice and helps put a lot of things into perspective. One of the things I'm currently doing is planning out the finances for 2025. Because without a solid financial plan, the year just might become very hard. So there are things worth that need to be considered when we're doing something like that, right? It's like looking at current income, both me and my partner, every month or every year, whatever calculation you want to do, and looking at the fixed expenses, looking at all the reservations that need to be made, looking at all of the additional expenses like car, not only maintenance but also saving for a replacement 5 or 6 years down the line, daycare, school, after school care. There are a lot of little costs that come up every month that all add up. And it's good to know at the outset, savings, always 10%, so basically we live off 90% of our income, at least 10%, if more is possible, always better. But just having that plan, looking at the facts of the financial facts of life, can be very calming, very stressful. Two-handed cleans. I'm just so curious what that feels like with with a 24 kilo. Just going to give that a single go. Yep, that's heavier. But anyway, so laying out a financial plan shows where costs maybe need to be cut, where spending is too much, where we need to revise our ambitions, desires. Generally, it is a way to achieving a more stress-free and enjoyable life, a standard of living within my means. But I do have to do it at least once a year, and technically check in every month. But better is to just check in every week. So anywhere between 12 and 52 times a year. Okay, two-handed overhead presses. Yeah, in that sense, I guess, finances, fitness, health, because they're both part of health, for me, are very similar. You need to have an understanding of where you are, make a plan, have a schedule, and then just also check in regularly to see if the schedule is still working, if the plan you made is realistic or not, and then based off of that, veer and change course. So anyway, those are some of the things that keep me up, or that occupy me, because nothing's keeping me up. I actually sleep pretty well, but that occupy me at the moment, because obviously wanting to be and stay healthy, not only now, but for the next 60 years, is one of my priorities. And in my plan, financial health is as much part of that as anything else. And that's why also, as a part of this, just part of my health is meeting up with family and friends, and you just realize that that is the one that is most often, most easily missed.
So I think going forward, reflecting on this on the holidays also, one of the things that I'm going to invest a bit more time in, probably every other week, is to look for an opportunity to actually go and visit a friend on the weekends. During the week it's pretty difficult, but on the weekends it should be possible, because feeling belonging and seeing the people who you feel that belonging with is also an important part of being healthy. One more of these. So that's worth considering as well, is how much time you're able to spend with friends and family, people that give you a sense of belonging, people that you enjoy seeing, that you're interested in, and making sure that you stay connected with them and with the world. Okay, some small muscle work with the 8 kilos. It's going to be bicep curls, nothing fancy, but just going to do a couple of those. Because we're taking it easy today. I have all these weights, might as well put them to good use. And as you can feel and see, it's a bit of a slow morning, but I think it reflects well where I'm at in my mind this morning. There are, of course, different ways to do this one, but I'm going to do a lot, by the way. 3 sets at most. And the last one, now we're going to do some squats and some cleans. And I guess then we're done for today.
5 goblet squats. So, what I am going to try to do going forward is do a 30-minute workout on the minute. So I might set a 30-minute countdown timer. And whatever work I get done in 30 minutes, that's it. Just because I have some other things in my schedule to attend to. And as much as I enjoy doing all of the different workouts, it's important to realize that the time I have in a day to invest into workout, and maybe you as well, it's very limited. So all of the work needs to be done in 20 to 30 minutes. That might mean using heavier weights or just accepting that slightly less work is going to get done, more focus on less exercises. If I'm doing EMOMs, I can do 6 sets of 5 or 6 sets of 4 with 1 minute of rest in between. You know, that's fine. And that should be enough for general health and conditioning. And then maybe on the weekends I can add a run or another activity to it. So that's where the thinking is, more or less. But let's see what life brings us. And going on to the final set. Before we clean up and get on with the day. A cup of coffee, some studying before showering and being off to work. Okay, I'm going to do 1 set. Cleans, 5 left, 5 right, just to finish this off. To get that movement in unilaterally. And then we're going to call it a morning. And let's see how we feel tomorrow morning. Feel some of that, being sick sweat coming out. So
And we're good. Thanks a lot for dropping by, friend. I appreciate it. I appreciate you saying hi. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate the interest. Appreciate us being on this journey together. Thanks a lot for that. From Holland, 5:56 a.m. to you, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. You're having a good day, morning, end of the day, depending where you are. I hope this was useful. A bit slow today. Hopefully back on a better energy level tomorrow. I train for living an adventurous, self-sufficient and active life. If it's something you're interested in, fitness, conditioning, strength, kettlebells, fatherhood, career, raising boys, life in general, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and we can have this conversation, be on this journey together. We're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.